big one. Got him. Look at the size of that one. That is beautiful. Does it get any better than that? Nothing better than sight fishing gills. God, I love sight fishing gills. Welcome back to Dark Water Outdoors. Today we are fishing big gills on the spawn. Now it's a little late, and people would normally think that the gills aren't going to spawn this time of year. We're pushing mid-June almost, and we had a really cold spring this year, so the gills now are just hitting the right temperatures at the right times and getting up into the shallows. But how we're going to attack them today, we're going to use more of a power fishing method. So today we're just using a Mr. Crappie little bobber, and we'll explain a little bit more about that later, followed by just a small little jig head tipped with a crawler and power bait, and no split shot in between. So no split shot between the bobber and the jig head, and the reason for that being is I want this to fall and act as natural as I bring the lure back to the boat. Oh, here he comes. Nothing better than sight fishing bluegills, especially nice big ones like this. This is a perfect eater here. Talk about this just a little bit. That's the perfect eater right there. And the reason that's perfect eater is it's just in that size range where you can get a nice good fillet off of it, and you know it's not that 11, 10 inch gill, one of those genetic females that need to pass on their genes to the next generation. We let those ones go, and the reason that we let those ones go is we want them to get to this size and bigger. So if you let the ones go that you already know can get that big and pass on their genes, then we can have more bluegills this size and bigger. Oh, here it comes, big one. Got him. Look at the size of that one. Look at the bright colors on that. Nice big spawned out female. That is beautiful. Man, what an awesome fish. It does. Oh, no, male. Sorry. Look at that. Male. He's going to the frying pan. He's in that 9 inch range. Again, perfect eater size right here, that 9 inch range. That's where you want to eat. Oh, man, I can't wait. Wife's going to be happy about this. She's got it. Very good. That's awesome. That's just awesome. One thing to keep in mind is the whole reason that we're able to enjoy something like this is we don't over harvest. So one big thing to always keep in mind is even though the limit may be 25 on this lake in northern Wisconsin, we're only going to keep maybe 8 or 9 a piece. That's it. And we're not going to come back here day after day and keep pounding it. This is something that we keep a few every once in a while, maybe once a week. Enough for the frying pan, enough for the family to enjoy a fresh meal, and that's it. There you go. Drop it right on its head. Look at that. Just charged it. Oh. Try that again here. She's sitting right there protected. Should say he. Then. Oh, there one's got it. There we go. Another nice. That's a true blue right there. Look at that. Just beautiful coloring. Bluish purple. Oh.
As soon as it hits the water, try to keep it away from some of those little guys. Ooh. Keep them out of lily pads. Another nice gill. Yeah, it seems to be stacked up all over in here. Not going to take us long to get a few for the frying pan. Pull them through the lily pads. That's a nice gill. That's what we're talking about right there. So we're out here this evening. You know, it's late evening and kind of early summer, but kind of a late bluegill bite here. And what we've done is we've set up in these shallows, and these bluegills are just kind of coming off their beds. They're still on their beds here. And what we're doing is we're just targeting them up here with a lightweight jig and a little Power Pro and tipped with a night crawler. Nothing fancy, real easy, and then just a real lightweight bobber. Yeah, we're just flipping it up here, and half the time we're able to just use the length of the rod and drop it, sight fish right into these fish, and they'll just come right up. They'll come right up and take it. Most of the time we're not even having to cast it out or nothing.
Half the battle to finding these gills is finding the right substrate. And where we are right now is on the left side of the boat here towards the shallow end, I can see sand. And towards the right side here, I can see muck, silt, dark bottom. And what we're finding is right at that transition area, we got where the beds start. So we have sand beds, but then they're silt filled with muck, and they use that substrate to bed in. So what we're going to do now, we kind of fished out this area. All we're going to do is pull up the anchor a little bit. We're going to travel maybe 10-15 yards up, re-anchor, resituate, and go after some different gills. They're just not taking it, they're nudging it. I almost wonder if I got to go deeper just a little bit just to get them. Put a bigger piece of crawler on there. They're like coming up to it, but they're not taking it. There, that one's got it. There we go. Oof. Sad part is, that's the small one of the group right there. That was the tiny one. So I'm gonna get back down there and medium-sized one there. Got it though. Yeah, look how bright color that is. Look at that orange breast. I love those spawning colors. Man, those things are awesome. Just beautiful fish. There we go. That worked. There we go. Basically, the bite was slowing down on us. Really wasn't slowing, but we could visually see the fish were turning negative on us, and all we did is we changed up our presentation. Still used the same jig head, but then we went to a oh shoot, there we go. Went to a plastic body, something that's got a lot of kick to it. When these gills are on their beds, they're actually defending their nest from insects and other macroinvertebrates and other fish that are trying to get their eggs. So all we're trying to do is get in their wheelhouse, irritate them, and represent something that would be a threat to their bed and their eggs. That is an absolute toad. Look at the coloration on that thing. That is a beautiful specimen right there. Man, this lure isn't, it's not even hitting the water, and these things are flying up with just such violence, almost. It makes a big wake, and the float's making a popping sound in the water. They're hitting this thing so hard. Man, did that thing hit it hard. There's another nice toad. Beautiful fish. You can see why this fish is the gateway drug into fishing right here. And I know a lot of guys like to go after bigger specimens, walleyes, muskies, lake trout, salmon, and a lot of guys kind of neglect these after the spawn. But the guys that do go after these all summer are just fanatics, and you can see why. I mean, this is the fish that literally got us into fishing, and hopefully we can get a couple kids out here next week. Hopefully Tony's son Roman will be able to come out with us, and you'll be able to see the family interaction and the excitement that kids get catching fish like this. I mean, I'm still excited, and I'm well into my adult years, so this is going to be a lot of fun, and I hope, you know, there's just a lot more years of this to come and sharing it with other people. If you guys want to know how to catch more panfish than your buddy, is using this technique right here. And it is, when you retrieve your float, you're not jigging it, not popping it. It's just a very steady, slow retrieve. The reason for that being is the macroinvertebrates and insects that panfish eat don't have that darting, dying fish or feeding fish movement that triggers predatory fish into eating, but rather the macroinvertebrates have a very just slow glide to them. And if you do that slow glide versus trying to pop it and jig it like a walleye, you're going to catch 10 times more fish. I'm going to show you guys how to do this technique right here. All you do is pitch out your lure, let it sink to the bottom, and then all I do is just a very steady, slow pull. And I just try to direct my lure towards the beds. That's all I'm doing. There we go, just like that. And that's how you do it.
Little guy, little round one. Man, these little buggers can fight though. So I just caught this little bluegill, and after I reeled it up, I noticed that you can see how this jig here is hanging perfectly vertical, right? Well, that's not how we want it to hang. So what we need to do here is, you can see that this line has slid to the upper end of the eye loop. So what we got to do is we got to take this knot, come into here, and rotate this knot back up onto the top of this eyelet here. Work it up, work it along until we get that good horizontal hang. And you might even have to come back a little bit. Yeah, there we go. See how that hangs nice and horizontal? That's how we want this to hang. So that way, as it runs through the water, it's going to keep that horizontal presentation. There's another nice one.
Today was my first day back on the water after being injured, and it just feels good to be back. It feels good to be normal, I guess, again. I know you go through a little bit of depression there when you're injured and you don't know what's going on and if you're ever going to be able to fish again. So I'm going to keep on fighting. Hopefully I'll be pitching muskies by midsummer. Again, just thanks for watching us, and give us a follow if you want to keep up with all our latest videos. We'll be putting out more now that I'm getting back on board here.